With us, our volunteer from the Buffalo Animal Shelter. And very quickly, Dustin, who is this?
This is Ziggy. He's an 11-month-old terrier mix looking for a home. He was recently surrendered to the shelter. His owner lived in a small apartment and decided that it was not the right fit, and she didn't have the time to properly give him the home she loved that he deserved. So he's at the shelter now looking. He lived with small children, and she said he did great with kids. A little nervous around other dogs, but needs some socialization work. But he's still young, so.
You know, and I've learned that you can teach an old dog new tricks. It's a matter of putting the time in for training. And I'm telling you, they love it. They love knowing that they're doing a good job for you. They really will listen, and you can get a much better experience with a dog if you put the time in. Don't yell at them and stuff.
Those dogs that people are chasing around, you know, you want that dog to behave the way you want it, but if you don't put that time in, especially at the front end, that's where you really struggle. Right.
And it has nothing to do with yelling at a dog and all this other stuff. It can be quiet. You know, basically with treats and just learning how that dog will respond with you makes all the difference in the world. But time is with the animal is going to make all the difference. Let's get back to the Pekingese, who's got some issues.
So the question was with regards to gallstones as well as to bladder stones. For the most part, when we talk about gallstones in our dogs and cats, they very rarely cause any issues because of the anatomy of a dog versus a person. So I know when people, gallstones are a real significant problem, but not so much in a dog. When we're looking at bladder stones, that does become a much more significant issue, especially in a male dog. We really run the risk of seeing urinary obstructions, and that can be fatal very rapidly. Female dogs can have bladder stones and chronic problems, but it's rare for them to obstruct to where they can't urinate at all. But they can be caused by chronic infections, and they can just be caused by your diet. You know, a lot of the times we find dogs, when we do get an idea of what type of stone they have, there's very specific diets that can limit the type of minerals that do form those, and you're trying to, you know, what's happening is you kind of have a really concentrated soup inside that bladder, and just like when people used to make rock candy, you just keep pouring more and more sugar in there, and eventually it solidifies.
I never thought of it that way.
So you're looking for dilute urine, you're looking to make sure they have all the water they can, you know, wet food really helps. But if you speak to your veterinarian, there's very specific diets, depending on how much information they have already, that can really help decrease the risk of seeing these frequently.
So mostly a diet can be the remedy for that. Okay.
There's not really a major correlation between the gallstones and bladder stones commonly, but a couple different diseases, a couple different issues, you know, make them more likely to happen.
I hope that helps, caller. I hope that helps. All right, Ziggy is over at the Buffalo Animal Shelter, and we're very happy to say that last week's dog got adopted by a lovely family, right,
Yes.
Dustin? And that was a large dog, so
Very large,
thank you out there. And again, we have some wonderful animals that are over at the shelter waiting, and again, just waiting for that permanent home, that forever home. If you have a little bit of love in your heart and you have some room and you have some time to deal with little Ziggy, and you can work on some of those obedience things, or you can take them to a trainer. I'm telling you, you're going to have a great pet.
And you've got a new puppy, you know how much energy and how much work they really take.
I sure do. We're learning that firsthand, but he'll get it.
And it's worth it.
It's worth it because it's like bringing up a child, so to speak. And you want that child to have a good result, and you want your pet to have a good result. All right, so tomorrow, everybody, we're going to check out what's on stage at O'Connell and Company. Singer Marsha McWilson is back, and we're going to show you why you need a pink box of chocolates for Valentine's Day. All right, everybody, Niagara Frontier Veterinary Society, we want to thank them for Dr. Kanda for being here, and remind you that Ziggy is living right over at the Buffalo Animal Shelter on Oak Street in Buffalo. Weather's a little mild. It could be a great time to go